Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and it's time for a Gypsy Made Simple. This morning I'm going to work and do something I've never done before, a circle window card. Okay? Now what I'm going to use, you can use any type of circle that is a frame. I knew that there was one in the Art Philosophy cartridge, so if you see page 51 on Art Philosophy is this wonderful little circle right here. That's what I'm going to use to make the window card. I mean, they've got a card right here, but it's not a window. As you can see, it's solid. And I don't want that. I want a window card using this, and that's what we're going to do. Now notice, we're going to be using it as a frame. So let's get to work and let me show you what we're going to do. First off, set your cursor, and we're going to set it for 5 inches. Okay, and it's right there. Now we're going to go to Close to My Heart, the Art Philosophy cartridge, right here. And we're going to use this one up here, and that is the basic icon layer. And I want this little window right here. That's it. Okay? I hate when I touch the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Now what I want to do is I want to remember where I'm at, 56 and 68. I'm going to, on my X and Y, I'm going to make a copy, and I'm going to set the copy at 56 here, 0.56, and then here, well, didn't I say 68? We're going to find out right away. 0.68. Yep, there we go. Now I want you to flip it like that and bring it up. Now I want this a little bit wider here so that it has plenty of room. See how the wide it is from there to there? That'll give it a nice sturdy card, and you don't want a real flimsy card. I mean, God forbid, you don't want it to fall apart when you give it away. Now grab that one and just make a copy of it and move the copy over. And the reason why we're going to do that is the card itself, here, let me zoom out. The card itself is going to be flat on top, and yet this has this wonderful curve on the top, and so we want to be able to have that curve in our card. So we've got that just set aside to work on, to place all of our window components on there. Now what I want to do is I want to grab that, hit the group button, group, they're grouped together now, weld them together by touching the weld button on the advanced keyboard, and check it out. And let's zoom in so you can see how nice that is. It'll be a nice firm fold on the card. Okay, now zoom back out, take off your eye, and let's grab that, and I want to make a copy of that. Let's go to page 2 and copy. And what I'm going to do is set it, let's zoom in. I'm going to set it right on top here because I want a small piece, because I'm actually going to make a window, and I'm going to make this one smaller so that when I use my acetate, it's going to fit in there nicely. So I'm going to move that up and out of the way, and I want to make a copy of that, bring it back down here, and I actually want it just a little bit smaller, and for a sentiment area. So now I've got a sentiment area, and I'm going to zoom out. The only thing is we need to go in and hide the center because we want solid pieces of those two. hide the center. Okay, and we'll just forget that they're even there, put it aside. We know that when we open up the card, we've got a sentiment area that we're going to cut the smaller one in a solid color or a white, depending on what color paper you or I choose. And in this little bit larger one is going to be acetate. And so we're going to just leave that aside and go back to layer 1 and go back to work. Hide layer 2 by touching the eyeball, and you no longer see that. Okay? Now, let's get to work on this. This is going to be the layer that we're going to set on top of the card, except, oops, you know what we forgot to do? Go into that bottom of the card, the upper one, and hide the center, so that now it's a card. It's solid on the back, and then the front is going to have the big hole in, you know, the window. Okay, now let's get a happy birthday. Let's take our cursor down in size and go to, let's see, Beyond Birthdays has a nice happy birthday that I use most of the time because I like it. And we'll go to Beyond Birthdays, or is it Beyond Birthdays? No. No, that's not the one. I can't remember. Okay, happy birthday. Here it is. A Child's Year. That's the one I like. Happy birthday. See, I was playing with this already, so I knew how to make it fast for you. And what I do is I just use my little ball, I say, you know, little thing there. And I move it to fit within the size that I want. And I get it positioned where I want it. Okay. A little bit larger. There we go. Happy birthday. Fits perfect. Now what we're going to do with this one is we're going to add another layer. And I hit the copy button so it's on the other layer. I'm going to go back to layer 1, hide layer 3. Okay. Now I want to, oops. Sorry, I grabbed that. Shouldn't have grabbed that. Okay. I want to do, let's see, this card is for my little Justin, and he's going to be 10 years old. So I want to go to Mickey font. Mickey font. I like the big numbers. Disney Mickey font. Oops. And I want 1, 0, 10. Zoom out a little bit. And they're pretty big. Zoom in. And what we're going to do is manipulate the number 10 so that it sits, and I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I want the 1 to go there, the 0 to come in, and it's hanging over the edge a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take just the number 10, and I'm going to weld just the number 10. Take and put my go back to page 3, layer 3 I mean, and make a copy of that. Now I've got the number 10 there, and it's going to be welded. It should be welded, right? See? And so we've got it. Now let's go to layer 1. Now let's put a little birthday hat there, and my favorite one that I use all the time is in Celebrations. So let's go to Celebrations. Celebrations, there we go. And I love this little one with a little tassel on the top. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. Get it up here, a little bigger, and we're going to take and tilt it using, oops, going the wrong direction there, tilted. Oh, let's go back to tilted. I think it's a little bit too far out of whack. And get that in there. So it's on there. Now notice the happy birthday. Everything fits in there just perfect. What we're missing though is that we didn't make a copy of that hat. So we've got it highlighted. Go to layer 3 and just hit the copy button, dump it there, and we'll deal with that in a little bit. Okay, now to get the front of our layer all in one piece, to cut in one piece, all we need to do now is to tap on the happy birthday, go to the basic key, highlight button, tap on the hat, tap on the 10, and then notice there's a piece of the card sitting out there. Tap on the card. Now we've got all the pieces all grouped together as one group. Hit your weld button. Now to double check it to make sure that it's going to cut properly, hit the little eyeball. And at this point it's welding everything together, and it'll show you the cut, and you'll be able to see how well it cuts. Still working on it because there's a lot of items that it's welding together right there, and a lot of areas to put together. And now we've got it, and I want to zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it a little better. And notice how that cut is just perfect. Look at that. Look at the edges. It's just perfect. So we're good. Now, save your card at this point. Okay, save your card. Now let's go to layer 3. I'm not going to do it because I've already done the card. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you at the end of this video and how it's put together, and you'll have another video for that. But on layer 3, hide layer 1 by touching the eyeball and zoom out. Okay, now you've got the whole page there. You want your happy birthday is going to be one color. Your number 10 is going to be a color. And the little hat, let's put the number 10 down here. The little hat, once you have it highlighted, go to the second one, and I believe right here, no, sorry, the shift key, shift lock there, and highlight that. And now we've got the little piece, okay? Get that up in the corner because the little tassel will be a different color. Ah, come on. Okay. Now, we're all set. The card is done. It's perfect. And it was that simple. It just took a matter of minutes. But again, now this is a circle window card with a window. So it's a little bit different than what we've been doing. And let me show you what the card looks like. Be sure to save your work, okay? And let's move that aside. I've had such an exciting morning this morning. Okay, we've got it zoomed out. And look at this card. Is that awesome or what? Zoom in a little bit more. Now, it looks like a regular window card, doesn't it? Just kind of simple. It stands up nicely. See this? Stands up perfect. But look at this. It's got a window in it. Do you see the window? See that? Oh, I still got a little glue on the edge here. I had one little spot where I went over and I rubbed it a little bit, but I guess I didn't get all the glue off. I'll rub that off. But it's got the plastic window. See it in there? You can see it. And which makes it quite unique in itself. But isn't that an awesome card? Perfect for a little boy, wouldn't you say? 10 years old. Cute as can be. Now, be sure to watch the next card so you can see how we put it together. And it's actually very short because it's easier to put this together, I think, than if you, with the plastic on the inside. And doesn't that give it such a nice finished look? Be sure to link up your project today, ladies. Cannot wait to see what kind of window card you put together. And all it's got to be, I need you to link up your card. You want it to be a circle of some type. It could be a solid circle or a decorated circle like I did. and it's got to be a window. And if you haven't got acetate, don't worry about it. You could actually use what's left over in one of the boxes that you have. I just happen to have this nice flimsy acetate, and I love the way working with it. And it's actually what it is. Oh, I finally got that little piece. Got it off. It's from holding your papers. You know, a 3-ring holder. And that's all it is. It's a little piece of plastic. I ended up getting a box of those pages for like $5, and I've used a lot of it, and I've got enough to probably last me for 3 years. Anyway, you have a great day. Thank you for joining us today at She's a Sassy Lady. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Bye now.